Back again. This is the third video in the same day. It's February 13th. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. That's 14:30. Alright. So, we've talked warp drive, hyperdrive, slipstream, hyperwarp drive, which I think is pretty close to slipstream without the chaotic setups for where you need to get. And we talked about repulsor lifts and repulsor drive systems, and in the last video, Spider-Man's web shooters. So, let's take a trip to holographic world, shall we? And let's talk holocrons from Star Wars. These were information databases used by Jedi, Sith, people with money who had really nothing better to do with their times a lot of the time. They just recorded information. Boba Fett had one. Just about every Jedi Master had one. Every Sith Master had one. So, let's get into it, shall we? Now, playing the Star Wars video games like Knights of the Old Republic, the Old Republic Online, which I love, the Star Wars Galaxies, just about any Star Wars game has something to do with holocrons and learning from those holocrons. Whether or not you actually get them is another story, because in the Old Republic it was a pain in the ass to get to many of the holocrons because they were up in places that were really difficult to get to, either because of the location and how they designed the mountainside or anything, or because there was a lot of enemies in the area. Most holocrons that you see in the video games and stuff are relatively small, about the size of about the length of a cell phone. Turn the cell phone sideways, that would be the width. Lay it down, that's the depth. That's pretty much your holocron. Is roughly about 5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches, or 6 inches. What it doesn't tell you is there's a lot of the cases, like Knights of the Old Republic and the Korriban Temple, the Sith Temple on Korriban. There are 4 rooms in the original Knights of the Old Republic that you can't go to in the corners of the temple. You can only go north, south, east, and west. You can't go northeast, southeast, or anything like that. These 4 rooms had large holocrons. These things stood about 8 feet tall and about 4 feet in diameter at the base, which held a lot more information than the handheld ones. But anyway, we're already 3 minutes into this. Let's go ahead and talk holocron. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a quick look about the measurements I have for it. Your main holocron. Height 8 inches, width 8 inches, length 8 inches. 1 terabyte worth of memory. 1 inch high, 1 inch wide, 1 inch long. Speakers. Height 1 inch, width 1 inch, length 1 inch. This actually should be height and diameter only for speakers. Your power cell. Height 2 inches, width 2 inches, length 2 inches. Image screen and emitter. This little thing on top here that shows the image. 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So, here it is. 8 inches tall, 8 inches wide, 8 inches deep. Alright, so, crystal image emitter, image screen, and the terabyte memory. Everything that fits in the middle, battery, speakers, and the projector. So, image emitter causes the image to be seen by connecting the dust particles and water molecules in the air. So, because there's always dust around, there's always water in the air, no matter where you're at, no matter how dry it seems, there are water molecules. The holographic emitter, the image is connected to these, which is why at times you see a little scatter. That's where there's a break in the molecules and stuff, or a breeze pulls through. Alright, that's all for the blue book. black book goes into a little bit more detail because I was doing research on things for holograms and came across a guy creating holographic discs. These are 3D holographic discs. I tried to find out more information. He was developing them and then either just stopped or decided he was going to stop talking about it. And I think the last thing I read is he quit the project, quit making stuff, and disappeared somewhere. So if you can track down this guy, track down more information, it is Hive. What is it? I got it written down here somewhere. Holographic video discs. They're about the same size of a regular CD, which, you know, the way CDs are getting smaller and smaller nowadays, we could probably get a micro HVD, holographic video disc, to store the information on, but just like any other compact disc or CD of any kind, any DVD, once it's burned, there's no adding to it, no deleting it. It's there. So we'd have to find a way to make it so you can add more information to it without covering the whole disc and ending the recording process. So here we go. This is a bigger picture of it. A lot more stuff. This is a 2 tera quad fiber optic wiring, which does not exist at the moment. Alright, so you have your batteries here on the bottom, motherboard and sound card, your holographic video disc player, recorder and player, speakers, green lasers, reflect off of the disc, which puts the information up into here, through this lens into this splitter, which splits it into 2 mirrors, which reflect back to a mirror here, which reflects back up into the lens display up here. Why? Because they found that refracting it and refracting, splitting the image, and then reflecting the image makes it a more solid image. Which, hey, I'm all for. You got rubber in the areas here and the edge of supports. So yeah, that's basically all it is. Now, we go into the finer parts of it. Quartz lenses. You can use quartz lenses for lasers. Video imaging on quartz is relatively okay. It's not high definition, but you don't need high definition images when you're doing a holocron. Whatever they see is what they get. It's the information that's kept inside that matters. Alright? This is a holographic plate. This is the basic holographic imaging. Top view, side view, front. These plates are 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, and you have about 4 to 8 of them. It's like stop motion. You move, stop, take the picture, put it in another pose, take a picture, put it in another pose, so on and so forth. Like drawing a different image on a piece of paper and then flicking the paper so that the image moves. That's the basic plates of a holographic plate here. So this image, this setup over here is with the holographic plates. You set them around in a circle with, at the angle here, with the speakers on the edges and stuff like that, and the laser imager in the middle, so that when the plate moves, the laser hits it, and it reflects it up into the quartz lens on the top, which gives you your image. Relatively plain and simple, isn't it? That's really all I got on image-wise. But, like I said, look up holographic video discs. Look into that. It is awesome. Draw up your own designs. Whatever you want to use, you know, Cyrillic, see-through Cyrillic plating on the outside, whatever the design, metallic design on the inside of that, and then another ceramic plate, Cyrillic plating on the inside of that to hold the metal together, so that your metal plating on the inside with your designs doesn't move. You can also add in your speakers, The power wires, we do have fiber optic cables. I think the highest they go right now is, if you can get a hold of them, 1 terabyte. I think mostly it's like 32 gig, maybe 64 gig fiber optic cables. Find the really small ones, use that. Power source, that's something tricky. It's going to take a lot of power to run fiber optic imaging and lasers, which everything is read by a laser nowadays. CDs, DVDs, even these holographic video discs, green laser. I would suggest using green and red just because the DVDs and CDs that we use right now and video games all run off of red laser. Put a combination of the red and green in there, see which one works best, and then go from there. Put it together. Build it yourself. Use an external power source, however. Hook it up to a car battery. Put a little power switch on the side. And record yourself, put it on a DVD. You'll have to build the holocron big enough to use the DVD. Build it big enough, put a DVD player in there. Take it out of your computer, put it in this holocron, put it together. Test it out, see how it works. If it works, you just created a holocron. You'll probably be the first person ever in the world to create a holocron using the current technology of DVD. Go for it. If you can find this guy that did the holographic video discs, if he's still making them and they're relatively cheap, let me know. Leave a comment and leave me a message in the comments, or private message me on Facebook at facebook.com/Vlad Scythe. That's CHTYE. You can send me a message on Twitter. It's James Scythe, spelled the same way as the Facebook. Let me know, and let me know what else you want to see. I think that's going to be all for today. We may do something else here shortly. I don't know. I'm kind of bored right now, so have a good day.